Hello, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Today is Wednesday. We're going through the wilderness this week, seeing lessons we learned from the wilderness. And today is one of my favorite wilderness lessons. When God was moving Israel through the wilderness, God led them through. He was a cloud, a pillar of cloud by day, and a pillar of fire by night. That way they could go during the day or the night. The key was going through the wilderness, following the Lord. The Lord would make an appearance, maybe is some way to say it. The glory of the Lord, at one point it says in Exodus, was apparent in the cloud. But the Lord manifested his guidance, manifested his presence with the people in this cloud, this pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. And God told the Israelites, you follow me. I'll get you through the wilderness the way you need to go. And the cloud when the cloud got up and started going, all Israel got up and started going. When the cloud stopped and sat, Israel stopped and sat. The key was following the Lord. Now, if you read about the following the Lord in the cloud, it's really interesting because there are a couple of subtle nuggets that you can find. One nugget is, there came a point in time where Pharaoh and his army were chasing after the Israelites. And the cloud, the pillar of cloud that led Israel through, moved from in front of Israel to behind Israel, and threw Pharaoh's army into confusion and in essence protected Israel. And that's an interesting aspect of living through a wilderness time of life. You find not only that it's important to focus on following God, but when you follow God, God will also be defending you. If necessary, he moves from the front to the back to cover your six, as some might say, to cover your back, to cover your rear. And so the Israelites, by paying attention to God and following God, not only had his guidance through the wilderness, they also had his protection through the wilderness. And I think that's a critical part of life. I think that's a critical part of mine. I hope it's a critical part of yours. That when we're in the wilderness, we really need to focus in on following God, knowing that God has the direction in which we should lead. You know, it's so often, it's easy for us to try to find substitutes for God in the wilderness. If you think back about the time where the cloud led them to Mount Sinai, and then the cloud descended on Mount Sinai where Moses went up, and he was gone not for an hour, not for a day, not for a week. He was gone weeks at a time. And so here's Israel, and they've been told to sort of sit and wait. But instead of just sitting and waiting, they start thinking, well, you know, there's got to be something else we could be doing. There's got to be something else we could trust. Maybe we could help out. Maybe we could help God. Maybe we could help Moses. Hey, let's make our own golden calf. It won't be a pillar of fire or a pillar of cloud, but we'll make our own little idol, and that'll be our focus point right now. Well, that did not turn out well. In fact, the exact opposite. Because when we're in the wilderness, we focus on God, on his guidance, and on his protection. And when we focus on God, we know that we're right where we need to be. It might not be where we want to be, but we're where we need to be. And that's our lesson from the wilderness today. Join me again tomorrow, where I'm going to talk about how we trust God in the wilderness. That's your video thought for the day.